Yo, what's up, name's JetLeo1, and I've spent most of the day delving dungeons. Like, I downloaded a new MMORPG today, Eden Eternal. It's in closed beta, and it's funny because today it goes to open beta and they wipe everything, so I spent like 3 or 4 hours doing absolutely nothing, pretty much. It amounts to nothing because they wipe it. They wiped it, like, let's see, I'm recording this at 11:17, so they wiped it 3 or 4 hours and 17 minutes ago, so I have nothing now. Oh well, it's a fun game though, but that's my thing. I usually don't like MMORPGs. I usually play them, get in about 10 hours, I'm like, I can't take this anymore. Now don't get me wrong, RPGs are like my second favorite genre of game. I like shooters more, but RPG is a second. RPG and adventure is what got me in it, but like I like the epic style of RPG. Like this here, this is Torchlight, and this is a Diablo-esque, a hack and slash with randomized stuff, so it keeps making its own stuff. It gets random, and everything but the boss floors are random. And then there's the infinite dungeon after you win that keeps it going. Like, but that's one thing that it shares in similarity with MMORPGs is that they both keep getting new stuff, always new stuff. But the problem is that in MMORPGs, like in Torchlight, when it gives you new floors and stuff, it's more of the same. You know what to expect. You know what's going on here. While in stuff in MMORPGs, they can like toss you completely new stuff. That in MMORPGs, they enjoy forcing teamwork. This is single player. I don't have to work with anybody but my modded ferret pet. And all he does is trail me around and back me up. He's good backup. I like him. But like today in Eden Eternal when I was playing, I came across a raid dungeon. That's like the main thing I don't like about MMORPGs is they focus on party stuff. And then they never do a really good job of party stuff. Like the one dungeon we were on, it was a beginner dungeon, so it had a 3-person limit, and I went in with 2 clerics, like non-stop healing me, but then one of them died and went AFK, so it was just me and the one, and we made it through one boss before the other one went AFK, and so before my thing got wiped, my quest was just saying I need to kill the giant mushroom thing at the end of the dungeon. I was like, no, but then the one went AFK, then the other one went AFK, so then it was just me, and then for some reason, like, my thing crashed out. I could not connect to server, apparently. Oh, so much loot I have to share with my ferret. My ferret's awesome. But anyways, like, the MMO, like, I don't like raids. Most people are like, raids are awesome, it's 20 guys against one giant skeleton dude. It's like, but that doesn't appeal to me. I enjoy solo stuff. Like everything in Eden Eternal all the way up to that point was solo, and the dungeon's optional, but I want to complete the dungeon because I made the stupid rookie mistake of not checking the level of the sword I bought. So I lost 230 silver, which is 230 of silver, which is almost always a lot, even though this one doesn't have copper, but it's actually a lot for when you're a noob, so, which I am. So I wasted a lot of money on a weapon I need 2 more levels to get. And the thing about the game is that you have 2 separate levels. You have class levels and person levels, and you can't go off class level over your person level. And my general level goes slow, like every game in existence does. The general leveling goes slow, while the class one is like ridiculously fast, and that's not good when you can't switch classes yet. Now I have one class I could switch to. I could switch to the cleric, but I don't want to switch to healing. I want to stay with my dual blading warrior, who I'm going to turn into thief, because my final goal is blade dancer. But that's another thing I don't like about MMORPGs, is they can force you into stuff because it's free, so they don't have to make it easy. They can make you earn stuff. So like to get blade dancer, you have to play as bard, which is completely different from the melee master blade dancer. Because apparently Blade Dancer is like the Mage Knight from the Tales series, where they're more warrior, they just have spell backups. Like the Mage Knight in Tales, if you don't know, like they can drop swords of fire from the sky and like open up rifts in the ground with volcano eruptions coming out of it, drop meteors on your head, like freeze the entire air, but they also do it while fighting with a sword and doing more damage with the sword than their magic does. Like the magic is just a backup. Like if there's like 20 guys, you can take 5 with the sword and the other 15 are getting dropped by the magic. That's how they work. And that's apparently what the Blade Dancer sounds like. But you have to play as Bard, which is on the magician side of things. Like I guess since Blade Dancer apparently can buff themselves and buff their allies, you have to play as Bards, and Bard is the buff class in like every game. So I guess it makes sense, but it's still annoying that you have to go into a like completely different set because there's 15 classes in the game and they're divided into defense, melee damage, magic damage, healing, and range. And you have to go. The Blade Dancer is a melee damage class, but Bard is a healing magic class, I believe. So you have to go from just being the backup to unlock being the frontliner. It's like, and now I know it makes sense to unlock the Templar, which I don't like that they named it Templar. It's actually a Paladin type class. Templar is just the guys with the like in my terminology book, Paladin is the guys who take a lot, but they and they deal moderate, but they heal. While Templars are the ones who take a lot and deal a lot, but they don't do anything. Templars are defense specialists, while Paladins are the all-around and the healers. And their Templar is more my Paladin. I don't like that name choice. But to unlock it, you have to get a really high-level Cleric. And that ties into the Bard thing. You have to go from defense specialist to fragile backlining Cleric. Although the Cleric in the game is actually kind of cool. It's more like the D&D. Well, not the D&D Cleric, but it's close. They don't get to go around whacking people with hammers and stuff, being like, I smite you in the name of God, like the D&D ones do, and owning everybody. But they still can, like, call it down divine power to slap their enemies in the face. I couldn't help but think that when I made that metaphor. Like, I was picturing, like, Final Fantasy summons. I was, like, picturing Angel, like, an epic PvP move. Like, they're sitting there, they hit an enemy, like, and it goes black into a cutscene. You see, like, an angel come down from the sky, and, like, slowly walk up to him. You hear, like, one-winged angel playing in the background, and then the angel's right in front of the enemy, and then just stare at them, and the enemy's quaking in fear, and then the angel just backhands them, slaps him right across the face. I'm like, that would be awesome, but no. Close, but no cigar. They call down Divine Light to smite their enemies. So they have some magic attack moves, but it's still the healing class. It would still be healer if it wasn't any other game with any other names. They just call it Cleric here. It's not actual Cleric. But whatever, it's a good game. But I usually don't like MMORPGs. They usually add too much stuff. I fell off track there. They usually add too much stuff and it just keeps going and going. Then people can judge you and stuff. Like Torchlight here. There's nobody else to judge you. Oblivion, there's nobody else to judge you. That's why I like epic single-player RPGs. Like, I just beat Mass Effect 2 and I was like, that is one of the greatest games I've ever played. It's awesome. But it's awesome because it's got so much stuff, but nobody cares. MMORPGs, everybody's like, you noob. But in single-player, there's nobody to care. I don't know. Whatever. This is Jet Leo 1, and I need to make up my mind on what kind of RPG I like.